Okay. I think we're good. Hey, Bacon. It's Sellout Sunday. I've got some booze. It's Sellout Sunday. And I'm gonna get beat up by a boss. Caffeine, how are you doing? I see you first. I see it first. Cheers, all. I was gonna do... Ooh. Hey, Caffeine. That puts you ahead of Lizzie. Mod fight. Mod fight. Mod fight. Crux and Kakazi, Watto and welcome. Welcome to a Will's Day Off, Will Sells Out Sunday. I sung a jingle to It's Sellout Sunday on the way in and I forgot the song immediately.
Don't you know, you gotta shock the monkey.
My word. Caffeine almost burnt their wizard to death in lava. That seems like a horrifying euphemism. Bacon, thank you for the bits. Like, yeah, Kakazi, late night stream fight. There was a Twitch bounty going for Black Myth Wukong, and it was significantly higher than one usually gets for these things. So I was, you know what? Let's do it. I wanted to spend some time with you lot this evening, and I was considering doing another Long Ship After Dark video. And I reserve the right to do that, steaming drunk later. But as for right now, it's like, it's Sunday, so I can't really do anything more with paperwork stuff, and I don't know. We're looking at that shaggy monkey and being like, I could play this. The hilarious thing, though, is that the bounty itself has a stipulation. The stipulation is this. I must either beat a boss in a minute, or clear one of the bosses without using any healing items. At all. Those are the prerequisites of this bounty, and probably why it's so much higher. And I'm like, wait a second. You're going to pay me to be stubborn. You're gonna pay me to be stubborn. Okay. And, you know, after the success of Slugfest, which honestly I haven't really stopped to process yet, so I think that's why I'm also freewheeling into this. But, you know, it would be very silly for me to leave this. Yeah, I solid Millennia. I'm stubborn. I can do this. And plus, it's a lovely Sunday night excuse to, you know, I got a little cheeky bottle of sake, hang out with you lot. Honestly, that sounds like a pretty good evening. If I'm being perfectly honest, if it hadn't been for the bounty part of it, probably would be doing this on Discord with a different game that I found. Which, again, if I don't tackle it tonight, I might tackle it tomorrow. But I found this, like, surreal, like, first-person exploration horror in this, like, I don't know, what's it called? It's called Psychopomp. And apparently it's done very well. The original came out in January and was free. And it's got like 4,500 reviews, which is really good. And it is so weird. It's absolutely up our street. So I was going to do that as like a Long Ship After Dark. Here's the game if you want to add it to your own. And then, yeah, like I said, this bounty crossed my little feed. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I could do this. But to put into context, you know, I've been part of the Twitch bounty program since it started. We've done a lot of things. We did Code Vein. I was allowed to talk about the Cocaine Bear movie, or that bit we watched the Dungeons & Dragons trailer together. We did a Resi Evil demo. Hell, even, remember when we did Storyteller? The game where you adjust all the characters in time to make things happen. Up until today, the one we got the most amount for was Liza P. This is double what we got paid for Liza P. So, sorry to sound like a mercenary. Like, if it's, you know, donations from your lovely selves, I expect nothing. I am grateful for everything. If it is, you know, sponsorship money on a bounty board system, I'm going to be a mercenary. Because, you know, every dollar we get is keeping us going. Anyway, enough of money talk. You lot have already been fucking brilliant. How are you doing? How's your weekend been? Tell me your tales. Like, friends, you were literally there for every moment of my life. Since last I saw you, I drank gin, rewatched Dandadan, and that was it. Today's just been looking after the animals. You know, the guinea pigs got their cage cleaned today. I went to go buy some dog food, and the only thing they had was one of those gigantic sacks. So I did my very best peasant impression, trudging up the road with this huge fucking sack of dog food on my shoulder. Well, see, feelers, that's the thing about us. It's that if we're talking with like indie homies, I'm like, hey, if you've got budget, it's great. If not, don't worry about it. We just want to help. But when it's a big corporation, I'm like, pay me money. You didn't come to me unless you needed me. Angel Clean's playing Motherload. Ooh, fucking love that game. It's wild how so many of those like OG Flash games did end up becoming pillars. One of the reasons why I've been really enjoying Drill Core is because it feels like Dome Defender and Motherload got smushed together. I kind of like that. Grayson was death scrolling TikTok. No! You got to teach that algorithm to show you the funnies and the good stuff. Bully that algorithm. And Fearless has been playing some Tactical Breach Wizards. Ah, God, the writing in that. I know I whinge about this constantly, but I'm just in awe of people who can write and be funny on purpose. As someone who is funny in the same sense of, if you cram enough spaghetti into a cannon, eventually it'll hit a clown. That's my style of humour. If I just keep talking, eventually I'll be exceedingly funny. Oh, well, Angel Kalina, then I shall take that as a little badge of honour. And numbers, it is Sunday. It's Sellout Sunday. Twitch are... Okay. The team behind Black Myth Wukong have what's called a Twitch bounty going up. And Twitch bounties are kind of like an automated sponsorship system. However, they are offering significantly more than anybody else in the space. And, I mean, it's a Souls... Well, I've heard it's more Sekiro than Souls-like. It is a game about being stubborn and beating things to death with a cool character. And I'm like, I'm down with this. I did check the agreement, as there was some weird stuff that apparently, when Wukong released, one of the agencies they were going with put out a thing where you weren't allowed to talk about... What was it? It said something like, no politics talk. I checked this one. There is no clause like that. The only thing that they specify is I'm not allowed to badmouth the game. And I'm like, I can find something to love. I just finished playing 2 Human. Whatever the fuck you've got, it's going to seem like absolute gold dust. Oh yes, that was it, MDH. No feminist propaganda. Like a point to flag. But anyway.
Happy 71-month sub-anniversary, Mother Hubbard. Remember that you were loved by us and that we all lived together.
Captain Steph, what and welcome. How are you doing? Come on in, friend. I just realised that the audio is still adjusted from when we did 2 Human. So that's why the alerts are so quiet. Steph, how have you been? Watto and welcome. Hello, hello. And 71 months, 6 years next month.
Pays to be stubborn, days to be stupid. Welcome to Slugfest after dark.
And Dustin, fucking thank you. Well, this is not a Slugfest stream. You lot blew the doors off, alright? The final totals of Slugfest were ridiculous. And I seriously, I cannot thank you enough. Like, the dogs were out dog food today. So you know what I did? I went and I bought them dog food. And as I was saying, as some of you came on in, the only bag of dog food they had was one of those gigantic sacks. So I did my single best peasant impression, just hoiking this bag of dog food up the hill. It was a choice. It was a choice. Slugfest 2 begins today. No, you lot have all been incredible and lovely and wonderful. Alright? And Sage, Watto and welcome. If it wasn't for this Twitch bounty, I'd be making you a YouTube video right now. So we can pretend this is YouTube. You know, I can do some, what up gamers? It's me, a guy. Nah, I got nothing. I don't have a catchy YouTube intro. And Sage, how are you doing, friend? Cheers to you. So yeah, welcome to Sellout Sunday. Will sells out. Slugfest 2. No. If there comes a time where I'm in dire straits again, I will let you know. But you lot have already gotten me out the fire, okay? Ooh. Sage got a hair trim, and it's floofy. Floofy hair good. I'm gonna have to get my undershave redone soon. Wake up, samurai. I've got a Wukong to burn. That sounds bad, but I know your reference. Slugfest Christmas special. Fuck. I just want to point out that, like, Dustin came up with Slugfest as, like, support local unhinged ginger. And I like that. But also, it's an excuse to play Rain World and talk about Slugcats and put all the Slugcats out, like this. Anyway, but aside from that, like, Sage, Aeon, Captain Steph, MDH, like, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Tell me your tales. Like, I'm here to be stubborn and drink sake. Artie Pope, as I was just saying, it's a Twitch bounty for playing Wukong, and it is quite a large number. So I decided, rather than doing a YouTube video for tonight, that I would do an extra stream. So welcome to Sellout Sunday. Sorry, Sage apparently was in Kent, which is close. Everything happened so much yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to come on out. I had to cancel stuff I was supposed to do today, and that was... I was supposed to go watch the Gundam movie with friends. The very first one was having a screening, and I had to cancel on that one, and that felt very bad. So... maybe that's why I'm doing an extra stream today. It's like, oh, good to hang out with people. Fearless was, I spent most of my weekend minding the dogs of some unhinged ginger. That sounds like a terrible weekend. Who'd do that? Amos has passed out behind me. Oh. Sage working on the fresh pressed. You know, it doesn't take much to go from fresh pressed apple juice to scrumpy. Just saying. Just saying. Well, that's way cool. Numbers was playing some Digimon. I assume the card game. Want some cute Halloween themed cards. That's lovely. I realised... No, so Angel Kalina, you're all good. You're all good. So... the official Gundam pop-up store is next week. It will be this coming Saturday the 12th. So you're all good. But over the coming weeks, they're doing screenings of the old Gundam movies. So the one I don't want to miss much later in the year is Char's Counterattack, because it's just a visual treat. You can just show up and be like, all right, those are the good guys, those are the bad guys. The rest you can work out with context clues. The original Gundam movies weren't actually movies. What happened was, Gundam released, and it did alright, but it didn't do as well as expected. The toys and then the model kits did fucking great. That's another story. But what they did to try and recoup costs was they took parts of the original Gundam TV show, chopped them right down, and made them into 3 movies. It's also where the SD Gundams come from, because they did these cute little cartoons of like little chibi Zaku's fucking up at stuff. And that ended up spawning its whole thing, because those were wildly popular. There you go. Gundam fact. Ah, well, Orzine, I really hope yesterday's stream helped, and I hope you're doing a good space today, friend. Oh, Legend, so Scrumpy is kind of like apple moonshine-ish. So it's an alcoholic apple drink that farmers make predominantly in the UK and in the, well, UK, like the south and west country is Scrumpy territory. And it could be 10%, it could be fucking moonshine. Who knows? It's worth noting that Scrumpy sometimes has a little fizz to it, but it's predominantly flat. And when it's strong, it is wake up in a ditch strong. And it's really hard to taste the difference. Orzine, you know, a lot of people whose opinion I take, you know, I hold in high regard have said the Silent Hill 2 remake is good. As much as I want to dunk on Blooper Team for their previous works, maybe they've grown up enough to tackle something that's good, and yeah. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, no, I can see those. Those are real cute numbers. Those are real cute. Yeah, Immortal Legend, Blooper Team didn't fuck up Silent Hill. And hey, good on them. Like, I'm always happy to admit when I'm wrong when it comes to, like, you know, not believing in a video game. And if it's good, we'll win. Right? Like, Silent Hill 2 definitely handled some really interesting topics, and I didn't think Blooper Team had the chops to... Hey! Fearless, that's fucking cool of you. Thank you. Sorry, Evil Geek says, can't dunk on the Silent Hill 2 remake, but find it funny because the combat is close to Silent Hill Homecoming. I need to sit down with Homecoming again. Because I don't know if it was my snobbery that stopped me enjoying it, because, you know... Or if it was actually terror bad. Because there's one of the post-Silent Hill 4s that's supposed to be better than we all gave it credit for. So I don't know. But... Orzine says it's pretty much aping off the RE2 remake. Hey, you know, we all learn from each other. However, as us being basically scholars of video games at this point, I will celebrate Blooper Team's success. You know, if they've made a good game and they're doing good, fucking great. I will, however, never let them forget about the baby that knocks itself the fuck out in Layers of Fear, which is one of the funniest things in a video game. It's supposed to be a jump scare, like this baby is supposed to run out from behind a corner, and then it's supposed to like hit the wall and then evaporate, but it's just a child, it's a toddler at full sprint knocking themselves out on a bookshelf, and they're just going, wah! I'm never going to let them forget that. I am here to remind them. But I don't know. I didn't think they had the chops to understand Silent Hill 2 because of where it came from. Right? So, like, Resident Evil changed the game. Resident Evil 2 was like the big budget exploration that did some subtly clever things, but ultimately was, we took a small experience and made it into like a city full of zombies under siege. And it worked. Silent Hill was really fucking mid, but it had a lot of fog. Silent Hill 2 seems to be tracking the same path, and then the hook of it is it really is psychological horror, not survival horror. And God, trying to encapsulate that feeling is not something that I would want to tackle. You know, to take the feeling of Resident Evil 2 and bring that forward into a modern parlance is a much easier sell than taking Silent Hill 2 and carrying it into a modern parlance. So. But anyway, like I said, good game means we all win, and I'm okay with that. I know we're used to doing a bunch of waffling, but the challenge on this one is you've got me for at least another 20 minutes of talking whilst the game downloads. Probably should have thought of that ahead of time. It's fine, it's fine. Gives me a chance to drink and hang out. This will absolutely help my ability to do no heal runs of the bosses we attempt. Oh. I also got... Square Peg, sorry, I didn't see you sneaking in there. What time, welcome. So Aeon, this evening we will be playing Black Myth Wukong. A reimagining of Journey to the West through a Sekiro-flavoured lens. This is a sponsored stream. This is coming through the Twitch bounty system, and we'll be going for at least a couple hours. So, if you're kicking back on a Sunday evening and you want to see me get the fuck kicked out of me by several bosses, boy howdy, do I have a good night for you. And I will be drinking. So, if you've got a bevy and it's the kind of thing that you're into this evening, crack one open. Come join me. Yeah, Barbarian Bean, it looks good. It's just, the reason I wasn't considering streaming was because it's already wildly successful, and thematically it's fresh. Like, despite how internationally huge Sayuki is, we don't really see a lot of games based on it here, you know? Like, what was the last one we got? Ninja Theories... whatchamacallit? Oh god, actually, what was it called? Oh my god, Enslaved. Thank you. Which was... fine. I don't hate it. Well, so Legend, then you'll probably know more about this than I, because I haven't gotten to that block of the overly sarcastic backlog. Am I feeling human enough? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It was so funny because we raided into... Oh, Fiona, I didn't mention. Steve, Shanghai Steve, was streaming last night. So we raided on into him. And he was playing a good game. It was just very funny that one of his lot who was playing Space Marine with was like, man, I really loved 2 Human. Followed by, it was the only game I had in Iraq. And we were all like, and there it is. If you were in a war zone and the only video game you had access to was this, you'd have to find something to love. Sorry, if you haven't met, so I believe his handle is Shanghai6, is Steve, and he raises money for military veterans. They even have like a little veterans house out in LA where everybody lives and plays video games and raises money for charity, and it's really fucking cool. I've known Steve for like 1,000 years. Like, I knew him before he was Stack Up, and in the previous thing that's a whole nother Killer Monkeys. Ha! Killer Monkeys, because we're playing the monkey game. Ah! I'm so witty. I'm so witty. I don't know how you all manage to maintain ribs with how side-splittingly funny I think I am. If I could keep a straight face when talking nonsense, I would be a comedic genius.
Objection. We get a lot of games based on Journey to the West. They're just called Dragon Ball.
Touche, friend. Touche. I don't know why the alerts are back to being super quiet. But numbers, that's a very good point. Oh. I still want to do the dragon buzz balls at some point. I understand this is a terrible fucking idea, but it's wedged itself into my mind, and it won't let go. So, at some point, I and those around me will be cursed. But because Sage, there's a kind of like orange buzzball that's exactly the same color as the Dragon Balls. And you can get the large ones now, which are the same size as the Dragon Balls. Like... Sage would just... Nope. Coward. That's why you don't have it takes to go Super Saiyan, Sage. You know, every time a Saiyan gets hung over, they come back stronger. So numbers, Buzzballs. Buzzballs are a very sugary, kind of like pre-made, almost like shot drink. High fructose and alcohol. That's fair. Well, so Evil Geek, if we wanted to be evil, what we'd do is we'd have one set in orange for the standard Dragon Balls, and then one set in green for the Namekian ones. And Agananaki, how are you doing? I don't think I've recovered from Slugfest yet. Honestly, like, I was complete jello after last night, so I just took the dogs out and then just went to the pub for a bit. And today it's just been looking after these lovely little chuckle fucks, cleaning the guinea pig's cage, and just getting stuff done, so I haven't really stopped. Number says the Namekian Dragon Balls was the same colour but 15 times the size. I know you're right, but if you start with the big buzz balls, 15 times the size of that is death. It's death. I mean, I guess you could do the small-sized buzz balls for the original set, and then the Namekians would be the large ones you can get. Legend? Legend, no! Thanks, I hate this. I immediately regret what I have said. Oh. But yeah, so, Oh! Well, Artipo, just in case you're still lurking, lovely to see you. Good luck on your deadline, we believe in you. And we'll either be here for background noise if you need it, or for distractions, or for recovery once you're done. Len, I would love it if you'd all forget about the Dark Dragon Balls from GT right now. I would love it if those Dragon Balls were never remembered. Because as the one who has suggested this... So Grayson, I saw that as well. And here's the weird thing. The idea of tackling a series of buzz balls themed after Dragon Balls doesn't scare me, but the battery acid scares me. I've seen it. I mean, Grayson, we probably were... I've seen it in the past, but we were probably reminded by the same TikTok. The TLDR is that you get a bunch of sour candy, like strips. You kind of pull them apart cheese string style, and then you dunk them all into an energy drink. Oh. Okay, Legend, they are awesome. I just realised what I have opened up here. It's alright. I'll just get myself a tail and some red eyeshadow. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Wait, no, that wasn't GT. In fairness, friends, I don't know Dragon Ball as well as I know, say, Gundam and stuff like that, so... But yeah, as I said, I hope you're all doing splendid. We got about 20-ish minutes left on the download. Okay, Red Eyeshadow was GT. Alright, I thought I was getting me little wires crossed. Thank you. No, whatever I was going to say completely fell out of my noggin. But yeah, to jump back. I've not recovered from Slugfest because I've not started to. So Cold Ankles, Watto, and welcome. You know what? It's going lovely. Today's been a lot, but nothing super stressful. Oh, sorry, Aeon. I'm sorry you've been not been getting to get the proper light show. It was just, I think I said it in IRL. It keeps making me laugh when you post the Aurora Watch pictures because it looks like two googly eyes watching graphs intently. Oh yeah, you did see. Alright. Aeon, I'm sorry, I missed your response with the ooh. Oh. But yeah. Sorry to be so boring this evening. The only other thing I was thinking is so you remember the Battletech figures we did? I know this is kind of coming through on a dull colour, because again, I don't know what it is about this camera. It makes me look less pale, but it makes everything else look kind of washed out. But I've been trying to think what accent colour to do for this one, because it's currently like a metallic purple. And I saw this gorgeous water style technique that you can do with Battletech minis, which I'm going to do with that before I start doing detailing. But I'm trying to decide what colour for the accent. I honestly might buy one of those little... You can get them in pin form now, the colour wheels, which shows you like the contrast and complementary. You put the colour wheel over what colour you're working with, and it suggests what works in terms of complement and otherwise. Like a little cheat sheet. And I don't know, I'm trying to think about what I want to do next. I think I mentioned it all to you yesterday, but I came across this paint online that's holochromatic silver, in that it predominantly looks like silver paint, but it has that like rainbow sheen as it reflects the light. I came across that yesterday and I was just like, ooh. I saw somebody done a really gorgeous paint job that was that, plus they'd taken gold leaf and to combine that with a marble paint effect to give it this like really ostentatious marble, and shocking no one, I'm in love with it. So kind of drooling over ideas to come. Artipo, so Artipo, are you saying silver would be a good complement to the metallic purple? Because the technique is basically you get little bits of blue tack or plasticine, roll them up, and you squish them down, and you leave just enough little space between them, and then you dry brush the fuck out of everything. Once it's all dried, peel off the blue tack, and you're left with this like underwater, like natural pattern. In theory, anyway. I really want to do it. You know, the one of the guys over at Catalyst Games sent me his latest works, and I was like, ooh. And Aeon, I know I could just do like a standard silver dry brush to give it that wear and tear look. I'm not a fan of that, but that's just me. You know, I I got a real weakness for the idea of mechs looking like they just came off the show floor. I love the idea of giant robots being these impossibly ostentatious machines. You know, they are the sports cars of exploding things. So that's why a lot of my Gundam stuff is just ridiculous. This is my little hand-painted experiment, and it's not bad. Again, the silver purple does not come across. And for this one, I was kind of doing a combination of the race car, it's all covered in stickers kind of thing, as well as like testing to see how the hand brushing worked with masking, which was real good. Oh, thank you. Honestly, this started as just as a test for the small miniatures, because Gundam pieces are bigger and you can't really fuck them up, you know. The only thing was that I used water-based paints rather than like acrylics or lacquers, so you have to do a top coat first if you then want to do decals over that, which I think came out real well, you know. Again, this camera is not going to do it justice. Like, this was the mech I was working on when I got... Hang on. Look at my mech. Look at the robot. Nah, doesn't want to play nice. Alright. This was the mech I was working on when I got absolutely shithoused like a couple weeks back. Because I was doing all the little decals, and I'm there. I've got my tiny cup. And I went through like a whole bunch of shochu, and then sake, and then I was fucking destroyed. But... oh, excuse me. I'm happy with how it came out. Like, with a lot of the Gundam stuff, it's nice seeing how this experimentation comes forward, you know what I mean? You know, I've got a few ideas for stuff, like, for projects I want to do with you all, because I don't know if we'll be doing another, like, painting contest for a while, but what I am thinking of is some, like, collaboration stuff. I want to paint stuff with you all, do you know what I mean? And Sage, if you're still lurking and irking, I would love a dinosaur sticker, because I have resisted spamming you with the sheer number of fucking cool kits you can get for One Piece. Oh no, Barbarian Beam, we can do some painting streams. Tonight we are mercenaries, but I love doing painting streams. Hey, honestly, it's a lovely problem to have that I don't have enough hours in a day to stream all the stuff and do all the things that I wanna. But no, so what I've been pondering is, how do we, as a group, all paint one Gundam together? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've come up with an idea. Of basically, we pick a kit that's affordable, maybe like an entry grade, or I don't know, whatever one of the cheapest like 1/100 kits is. You know, we see what everybody can get, and we essentially, I don't want to say take turns, but like everybody picks a piece and that's their one to paint. Because the same way we designed the Crayola War Machine, essentially, if every person in the Longship got one piece they got to paint, we'd have to see how many people wanted to get involved, and like, you know, the amount of which people would the amount that people would be excited to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't pick something like the fucking Sazabi or the Sasabi, or however you want to say it, because that thing's fucking expensive. So, I don't know. Like, there's a few kits we could. Well, yeah, an immortal then you mail me your piece, and we go from there. The Nightingale. I totally wasn't looking at the price of the Nightingale. The big one is still like $100. And the smaller one is... Yeah, the smaller one is $82. So... As much as I love it, that's a lot of moolah. But like, you know, something like this little guy here, you know, like he costs like $7. So, you know, everybody paints a piece, we go from there. You send me the pieces, we put it together, job's a good one, right? And again, so the other thing is, if we get the chance to all hang out, like those of us in the Seattle region, we can kind of divvy up the pieces as well. You know, I'll pre-prime them, and then we can either hand paint them or do whatever. That's what I've been thinking on anyway. I wanted to do it for PAX, you know, while everyone was together and just be like, hey, I'm down in board gaming area, come paint some stuff with me. Aeon, it is kind of a crazy project, I understand. But I don't know, like, I don't know anybody else that's done something like this. And I got the inspiration from this guy on TikTok who, he does faux graffiti for model trains. So he does like realistic modern style train carriages covered with graffiti and like weathering and stuff like that look really fucking cool. And then, you know, people buy those for their train sets and shit like that. I was like, kind of fucking rad. So, I don't know. One thing that I think has been interesting is, like, since we've gotten out of lockdown and stuff like that, I don't know if everybody's had the same want and the same will to compete. Like, the Mech Gala was probably one of our quietest, like, painting events, and ended up being more of a celebration. It definitely inspired me and peeps to do things that were really, like, fresh and original. But it wasn't as off the chain as the G Gundam challenge that we did. And again, I wonder if that's how I structured it, or if that's like, people had a lot more free time back during lockdown. So, in that regard, I don't know. But, hey, Ultrazini, surprise! Welcome to Sellout Sunday. I'm your host, me. How are you doing? How's work? Well, so Barbarian Bean, the other thing would be that it's not about, like, the best of the best. It's, so long as it's something that you made, that's what I want to put together, right? No. Well, Ulzine, don't think about it. Pour yourself a glass of whatever you fancy, booze or otherwise. I'm going to be playing Wukong in a sec, because they offered me a very large Twitch bounty, and I'm going to take it. The caveat, and I'm not even joking, this is in the bounty in the back end of Twitch, the caveat is that I have to either beat a boss in a minute, let's be honest, that's not happening, or beat a boss without healing. They are literally paying me to be stubborn. So how's that for a slice of fried gold? So yeah, so you get me for a Sunday night. The only downside is that okay, I think we're all good. Sorry. Have I got a death counter? No. You know, they're paying me to be stubborn, and I'm entirely okay with that. Well, I assume, Poe, because the bounty is much higher than... Like, I don't want to go into numbers, but it's twice as much as we got offered to do that stream of Liza P, like, way back. So, I assume because it's... Oh, hang on. I gotta turn off the... turn off Slugfest. There is no Slugfest. Slugfest is over. It was wildly successful, by the way, and I will be eternally fucking grateful. But Slugfest has concluded. Until it comes back from the depths. I cannot promise you that there won't be another time where I will need to ask for your help. And so, rather than Shark Week, if there is a Slugfest 2, again, I'll make sure that it's laid out ahead of time and that you'll know what's going down. There is going to be that depth stream as well, and I have to do my Hot Pepper Gaming video. I have to do a stream in that sexy Roman outfit. Then there's a stream of sneaking, and we'll be doing a Marble Grand Prix, where the winner will be able to dictate a whole day's stream.
Here, hide my money. I just bought a Monster Hunter Digivice.
Aw, I'm glad. Friend, you were super stoked for that. It looks really fucking cool. Oh, and I realized, so those of you who were asking about the Gundam card game, and I was trying to put my finger on why I wasn't, like, super stoked for it. Like, why it wasn't, like... Okay, anytime now. Why it wasn't something I was clamoring for. And I realized, because I don't want cards. I want Tequila Gundam, and they haven't given it to me. There's rumors they're going to be releasing, like, the pod from G Gundam. The like, opening Lotus Blossom drop pod. I'm like, that's really fucking cool. But again, I can't help but notice that's not Tequila Gundam. Is it this? Okay, you know, it's this. Alright, bear with me a second, friends. Kira says, I want a Warhammer-style Gundam game. What do you mean by that? Because I would love that as a conversation topic. The thing about Slugfest is, you were all there for Slugfest. That is the most interesting thing that has happened to me that wasn't, you know, sad news or bad news. So, like, I don't have a cool story, friends. I drank gin last night. I watched Once Bitten in the bar I frequent, which I didn't realize was Jim Carrey's first movie. I talked about Dan, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up and hello. Okay, so Aeon, Tequila Gundam. In G Gundam, the premise is this. Every country that has flown out of Earth and now lives in space as a colony. Don't worry about it. Every 4 years, all the countries compete to decide who's going to be in charge of all of the space colonies. Everyone makes a Gundam, they fly their Gundams down, and then first they do a battle royale and then a knockout tournament to decide which country is going to be ruler of all of the colonies. Also, Earth is bad now. It is peak wrestling cheese in all its unapologetic glory. And every Gundam is based around that country, ranging from the interesting to the stereotypical to the occasionally upsetting. So, for example, I'm going to just unhook this. Yes, there is a Viking Gundam. Do you want to know what his weapon is? It's not axes, it's sharpened oars, because he has a mech longship boat that he rows. Then there's this guy. This beefeater looking bastard is from Neo-London, Neo-Britain. All the colonies are called Neo and then the country. From Neo-Britain. He is a beefeater with a heavy machine gun, and he uses drugs to win. Yup. He is literally the embodiment of everything of opium and excessive firepower. And so on and so forth. You know, Neo-Canada has a lumberjack. Obviously, Japan doesn't have anything. They have they have the God Gundam, who's just very good. That's the hero mech that we follow. There's Neo-China's champion, who is literally called Master Asia. I'm not even joking. He has a horse that he rides. In G Gundam, rather than it being like a cockpit... Hey! Dan, come on in, friend. Come on in. Oh, no, Evil Geek is right. Master Asia is from Neo Hong Kong. Neo China is the stretchy-armed dragon fighter. We're talking about Gundams, and I'm about to start playing Wukong. For the first time. Neo Belgium has Browning Gundam. That's feckin' cool. That's actually rad. However, Neo Holland is definitely one of the top tier, being what is it? The Nether Gundam, which is a Gundam that transforms into a windmill. Because the first stage of the G Gundam tournament. Hang on, I'm just gonna do something very quickly. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
America Gundam is a football player boxer that has a gun. All that's missing is the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, well, one of his team dresses up as the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, no, he's a surfer, boxer, revolver shooter. And it's like he starts off as an American football player, and then his shoulder pads turn into his boxing gloves. And his name is like fucking Skibbity Crockett or something. I'm not even joking. Okay, the bounty should be going. We're just doing shaders right now. But anyway, so out of all of them, the most, we'll call it infamous, is Tequila Gundam, Neo Mexico's mech, who has, it's like a trident, a sombrero, a cactus arm for a shoulder, like, oh, Chibbity Crockett, sorry. It's internet brain rot has finally gotten to me. And it's so funny. Tequila Gundam actually gets revisited in the Gundam Build series as a guitar-playing gunslinger, and it's very funny. One of the things that's so interesting about it, though, is like, at the time, G Gundam was not received well. Oh, sorry, Dan, where are my fucking manners? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? How are you? In my defense, these little buggers got me talking about G Gundam, so I hope you're doing really well. Fuck, where was I? Oh, yes! So, Gundam was the tip of the spear for what became known as the real robot movement, right? Before that, there were giant robots, but they were things like Ultraman, or was it Shogun Warriors and things like that, like mystical forces either by magic or science that were huge kaiju fighters. But they were ultimately like, you know, superheroes and their powers. Gundam's whole philosophy was like, what if these things were actually war machines? Which is not a new concept anymore, but Gundam was the first. And G Gundam was taking the real robot format and then turning it back into Bizarro time. So good. Because again, with G Gundam, you don't control the mechs with like a cockpit. You wear a skin-tight suit, and the mech does your moves, so you have to know Kung Fu. It's fucking great. And it basically just comes across as, yeah, gigantic WrestleMania. It's brilliant. It just, again, it was one of those ones that was very poorly received at the time, and people have come to really love it. And Tequila Gundam's become sort of like the poster child for its weirdness. You know, the things that's fascinating about it is like the villain is the Devil Gundam, which God Gundam was made to beat. And Devil Gundam is basically like Tetsuo from Akira, but as a giant robot. And obviously is piloted by the brother of God Gundam's, like, kung fu headband, no-nonsense sword-wielding protagonist. God, it's good. Shadows. Who's going to talk about the pilot for the German Gundam, who is a ninja? Yep, the German ninja with the wrist, with the elbow blades and everything. Don't even worry about it. It's so wildly ridiculous, and I love it. I really love it. Now, Barbarian Bean, I have had this conversation drunk with a lot of people, so if any of you are drinking, you're equipped for this conversation. Pacific Rim is kaiju fighting kaiju fighting super robots viewed through the lens of real robots. Like, the mechs in Pacific Rim have a logic to them, but they're in the world of super robots. That's why Gypsy Danger can use a fucking boat as a bokken to beat a monster to death. And Vanderbeest, we are getting a bounty from Mr. Twitch. This is how we're doing it. Welcome to Sellout Sunday, where Mr. Twitch is paying me to be stubborn. I'm not just being sponsored to play Black Myth Wukong this evening. One of the stipulations of this bounty was that I must defeat a boss either in a minute or without healing. So I can't heal when fighting bosses. But yeah, jumping back. Pacific Rim, the first one, is a return to the kaiju battle super robot format, but through the lens of that same grounded concept. It's almost recontextualizing and re-examining the classic, 70s and 80s type stuff. And I think it's really cool. What my friend pointed out is that a lot of people don't like the sequel to Pacific Rim, and I think their critiques are fine, but the way it was explained to me, and it has made me appreciate both movies so much. Pacific Rim 1 is super robots. We are talking, again, Shogun Warriors, we are talking Ultraman, we are talking all that kind of like, Mecha Godzilla type stuff. The sequel is Next Generation. That is Transformers. It's not Gundam, it's... what do you even call the generation of things like that came from Transformers and GoBots and Mask and all of that? That's what Pacific Rim 2 is about. And once I started viewing it like that, everything from the ridiculous naming convention. Oh, sorry. Quick question before we get started, friends. For the dialogue, do you want English or Chinese? I don't know which dialect it is specifically of Chinese, but... Oh, God, I'm being such a terrible host. I'm going to say, Draken JB, Watto and welcome. It is incredibly silly. If you want either recommendations or discussions about mechs, I got you. Evil Geek, Macross is definitely in that same block that I would put Pacific Rim 2 in. I do agree. Akira Zero, all of Macross had a giant battleship that turned into a mech. What do you think the Macross was? So Fearless reckons it's Mandarin. Well, you know what? Let's give it a shout. I'm sure the English cast is great, but let's go for it. You're all right, Amos. Yes, Aeon does have English subtitles, so those will be on. On Draken, I don't know if Macross was supposed to be a parody. I don't know the true history on that one. To my understanding, it was just another take of. But what we got in English language territories was obviously Robotech, which was like 3 shows all blended together. But then we start getting into the Harmony Gold conversation, and I'm not drunk enough to talk about Harmony Gold tonight. Quickly check settings. That seems fine. Alright. Jobs are good. Yeah, back to the Dragon Ball source material. And let me know how audio is. I'll adjust as needed, because I had to tweak it after bloody blink blink. The nonsense with Too Bloody Human. I'm doing clown shit! As an aside, friends, if we're talking about games that deserve like a re-examining, not just a remake, but like a reimagining, I'd love to have another crack at Azura's Wrath. Couldn't possibly comment. Damn, little dude. I am starting to think we may have chosen poorly.
Ren, 我保住了。 金，我取到了。俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。上面的天王老子信不过我，我懂。让你小子带些虾兵蟹将过来虚张声势。
Ask yourself this, friends.
又想唬我回去做神仙。
What's stopping you from dressing like this?
我也
Think
懂。
about it.
我不懂的是，你他娘的杀我好子好孙！
Okay, we all have the same answer. We all have the same. Puppy! Oh, it's sparkly puppy. Puppy? Puppy, no. Oh, Beans, it's an evil puppy! I don't like that.
蠢狗，放肆！ 还不退下？
We must pet the evil dog.
都记好了，它不是只普通猴子，它是有功的猴子。
He's not just any monkey.
是封过
He's a
佛位
monkey
的
of
猴子。
merit. Monkey.
这里除了我，没人配与他单挑。
Okay. The only rule is I'm not allowed to heal in boss fights.
猢狲呢，猢狲，我本不想与你这个手下败将再战一场。这样吧，一会儿若是你败了，我带你回天庭。他们留在这里铲平花果山。若是我输了，我定然不会罢休，他们照样铲平花果山。
I don't like that deal. If we win, they level our mountain. If we lose, they level our mountain and they're mad at me. I don't
好
think I
可以
like that.
同僚一场，是真不想打。要不你现在就跪下认个错，这事儿就算
But
过
Aeon,
去
if it wasn't for the tiny subtitles,
如何？
like, the voice work is excellent.
这么多年了，除了那只猪头，就属你最会扯淡，最能逗老孙开心。杨兄弟，你放心，待会儿我只拔下你额头上那颗眼睛尝尝鲜，其他2颗先给你留着，我让你亲眼看看我是怎么杀光天庭每一条狗的。这里的，上面的，还有刚刚那条黑的，留下点儿。
Okay, buddy, I love you, but you did just say we'd slaughter everyone, and I have not yet
老天
learned.
一再给你机会，
I have not yet learned the
这
controls.
算不算被人忘记？
Oh, okay, I felt that.
应元妙道，上回来。
Okay, what a dance, he ain't got shit! I got friends! Fuck him up, other me! Oh. Nice!
斗战胜佛，你可知这长生不老的佛位
And？so, Catfish,
多少人
Nick,
求而不
Baron,
得。
what unwelcome. There is a very good Twitch bounty on this right now.
3界6
And so I
道，
figured I'd have a little sellout
会在
Sunday.
这
How
4
are you
个
all
字
doing?
上。
Oh! These clouds are getting a little intense, not gonna lie. Ow! Okay, that was a jerk move. Guess I got tired of me kicking his ass. Alright, come on, mini-me's. Let's fucking go! Get him, mini-me's! Ah, fucking cutscene no jitsu. Bullshit!
驼猴，你受了天禄，本性未改， 今日谁也救不了。
好兄长，你的刀钝了，正好给俺老孙挠个痒。
Right in the noggin! Melania has taught me very well. Unless it turns out I'm supposed to win this fight, in which case... Mini-me's! Fuck him up, mini-me's! Wave after wave of my own self! Oh, he's getting close. Kick his ass, monkey! Fuck him up! The spirit of Johnny Vegas compels you! Alright, this is cool as shit. I broke the sky. Wow, Beyond Good and Evil 2 got real weird. Mountain's not going to be in the sequel.
小外甥，这就是你说的单挑？天上阳光扎眼的很，有种再和你舅舅去山里会会。
Everyone's a bird now. You know what, friends? I don't actually know if this is brilliant. But I can tell you, after spending yesterday on 2 Human, this feels amazing. Everyone remember where we parked? Yes, Aeon contrast is the spice of life.
这便是孙悟空
Alcohol is the
的
apology
最
from
后
the
一个
gods.
故事。他一生豪杰，平生最喜自由自在。纵然得了正果金身，却还是受不得天条繁荣。
I think the game might have made me feel awesome then. I actually think I wasn't doing perfectly.
天真。
Dragon, I'm not
谁
sure.
知他辞了佛位，欢喜
Oh
幻
yeah,
想。
no, Nick, this is so
有些
UE5.
人
Like,
倒是
I feel like I
越
could brush
发
my teeth
放
with these
心不
clouds, you know what I'm
下。
saying? But I did check spec before we got this started, and this is on the softer end of the UE5 stuff.
唉，这块石头啊，在山里出了不知多少世界。我
Oh,
打小听人说，齐天大圣的尸身就藏在里面。
I want to be best friends with this guy.
他乃天产石猴。
If the rest of the game was just like a Stardew Valley type where we just hang out with him and like in a monkey village, I'd be fine with that.
但神魂没有完全消散，而是化为了6件灵物，各自逃遁隐匿世间。
But no, I don't think this... Yeah, I think that was definitely getting Metroided. And so far the combat system is closer to like Bayonetta than the Soulsian stuff. But...
我老了，走不完这四周茫茫之地。
Well, it's certainly not Ubisoft, that's for sure.
但你们之中。 书籍会有天命所归，将他遗下的灵物一一寻遍，待灵物尽数回归花果山之日，或是大圣复生之时。
Oh, that's okay. So it's not. We're not getting Metroided. We're playing as one of the apes from the village. Our goal is to go get the relics to bring the big man himself back. Well, so Aeon, sure, it's a lot of like narrative, but it had us fight fucking gods head on before anything else. Home is behind. The old monkey has told his tale, and now it's time for you. Yeah, Goku's dead. Let's get the Dragon Balls. And I've always been a big fan of like tutorialization and feeling awesome, not feeling like you're an underpowered, sickly Victorian child. Oh, actually, no, Nick is correct. We shouldn't refer to these as FMV because all of this is in-engine. That's a fuzzy peach. No further comment required.
命不休。哎，你看，远道福自有。
大哥，真是有口福啊！指不定。
Man, why do these guys have to be the dweebs?
这桃倒是识趣。好个小猢狲儿，敢捉弄你爷爷！今日定叫你知道厉害！
Okay. They even named the power system after me.
总是改不了这胡闹性子。
But, so audio's okay with everybody? Baron, who would make you fight gods? Not me! Alright, no, Fearless, go get some sleep, friend. You know, I'm gonna be here for a good few hours, because it's, the bounty is for 2 hours, and as a palate cleanser after 2 human, I love how it's lulling me into a false sense of security with these early, these early bad words. Treasure. Charged heavy attack. Hold wide, charge up and build focus. I will say in this, the heavy attack really feels weighty. Like that. That guy's super dead. I just broke his face. I hit him so hard he got marveled out of existence. But no, just very, very quickly, if you're wondering how this plays, it's absolutely a... It's absolutely closer to things like Bayonetta and things like that, rather than, say, you know, Sekiro or Soulsian or what have you. At least so far. And I have a feeling that introduction was designed to make me feel very good about myself. Because for a second there I was like, oh shit, this guy can't water dance, I got this.
Remember, Will, the mimic detection spell is only 99% accurate. There's always the chance it's wrong.
There's always the chance.
小神是黑风山的土地，在此候你多时。
Ah, I see the gentleman radish face is here.
香，真香。
Sorry, where are my manners? Numbers. Thank you kindly, friend.
再往前走，就是观音禅院。当年也是香火鼎盛，只可惜那场大火哟。
Oh yeah, no. So Poe, I'd want to play this on a much more powerful system to really comment. But I gotta say, the animation on it has so far been incredible.
若是烧没了，
Bacon, are you okay?
破庙又有什么用呢？
Do you need us to purge that?
你不记得此地，
Is it Bacon's cat on the
有些
keyboard?
东西惦记着你，来者不善，小猴子自求多福。
I say, I bloody hope not. Okay, incense talisman, special items. Offer incense. Fully restore your conditions, replenish your gourd, enemies will also respawn. That's cool. We've not really been given anything to spend on yet, so. So Bacon, it is slain. Caffeine handled it. It's just, this guy doesn't quite have, you know, the main man's arrogance yet. But he's got like a snifter of it. Come in, or... I think I leveled? I'm trying to learn as well as I can so that I don't think I'm going to be able to do the beat a boss in a minute challenge, but I think I can scrape by being a little terror and not heal. But yeah. Number says, back me up. Freerunner's very good. Who's saying Freerunner's bad? There are definitely some parts of it which, at the time, well, like doing first watch, I was like, ugh, I just want to get back to the other stuff. And then I realised that to continue to give you the sense of pace and time, it puts in a couple of little arcs that are in real time. So you can kind of... Oh! Sorry. So Aeon, so Freerun, oh, someone will have to post the full title of it. It's a fantastic anime, and the premise is it's set after the Dark Lord has been defeated. So pick whatever your generic fantasy setting is that you enjoy. Oh. Okay, they explode and they're stinky. Don't like that. And I am poisoned. Damn it, stinky frog. Whoa. Sorry, this one this whole ass forest is gorgeous. And 2, it's feeling legit open. Although there isn't any... There hasn't been any like difficulty settings or anything like that so far, so I assume it's get strong until dead. So Aeon, the hero of the land, brought together a party of adventurers, and they defeated the great evil demon lord. And we follow Freerin, who was the elven wizard of the party, like the big old damage dealer. And she is an elf. She's immortal. And so, you know, this is years after the hero Hamel has passed away, and, you know, the rest of the party have gotten old and moved around. And it's viewing the world from the eyes of someone who is timeless. And it's a wonderful celebration of a game. Fuck me running. It's a wonderful celebration, right? It has this really beautiful melancholy in a good way. I don't know a better way to describe it. Oh man, this is not a complaint, by the way, but the game is currently being very kind to me, and I'm a little worried. Oh, you know what? We're not in boss fight, so I think I can have a little bit of a drink. Hey! 2 raids for Will's night off? Let's fucking go! After Dan, we've got the Margin Walker coming in. How are you doing? Watto and welcome, friend! Oh, numbers. The meme about Freerin going to Costco with the hot dog. It's inspired. So, Margin, how was your stream? What were you up to? Please tell me your tales. Rosen, lovely to make your acquaintance. Watto and welcome. Coming in, coming in. The TLDR is that Twitch has a big old bounty on this game right now. And if they want to support the Longship through the medium of me playing a game that isn't too human, oh no, however will I cope? You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to be putzing around this for a few hours and just having myself, what did I call it? Sellout Sunday. Alright. This guy looks like a training instructor. That right there, that is a speed bump. Or a driving instructor, I believe they're called in Soulsian terms. Oh god. Alright. Margin says stream was fun. They played... Oh, the TCG card shop sim! I really love that. Oh god, don't love that. I really love that. It's already doing massively, so I don't feel like Okay. Driving test failed. So I don't... Yeah. TLDR, I really like the concept of that. And the only way it could be perfect would be for Twitch integration where people add their own cards. So, Lord Lost and Found, I'd love to like do a bit with you all where I keep saying like, no, I don't know what you mean. 2 Humans is one of the best games of all time. It's perfect with no flaws. It hurt me. The scene where all the Azir meet up in the hall with air quotes Thor was agonizingly painful. The bit where we got caught in a death loop towards the end, I couldn't keep going. It was so painful. It was so painful. Like, I felt like I was being punished for something. Nah. Margin. Slugfest is over. I can talk shit about 2 Human until I literally vomit. Self-advance. Increases engage distance. Allows you to do mobile spin. Reduces the stamina of dodging. Stamina of sprinting. We've also got health and stamina. Tell you what, we'll go light attack and... oh. Light attack and dodging. And I guess later on we learn all the different stances. Yeah. But anyway, so Margin, I hope you had like a really good stream. I have not finished processing all of Slugfest yet, so I'm still a little bit like, ooh. What you got? What you got? Oh, I had that one. Okay. Gotta get the timing down, it's fine. Sir. What you got? What you got? Big grumpy bellow. You great big grumpy bastard. You got your little danglies. Wait! Did I do that? Oh no, it's turnip. Or historically accurate Master Roshi. Numbers, I don't think we'll be doing multiple streams of this, so I don't want to start doing death counters. Well, Elden Ring is still on our docket, but maybe we'll come back to this in the future. And Margin, no, please, go, sleep, recover. Thank you so much for bringing a raid in. To all of Margin's lot, it is lovely to meet you. Ooh, that's handy. If we haven't met, my name's Will. I've worked in video games for a bajillion years, and I would love to talk to you about them if you want.
就能让对方动弹不得，你也可喘息片刻。只是小老儿道行浅薄，这定身效果不消片刻就会失灵。遇到些笨货倒还好用，你全当是挣个傍身的手段吧。嘿嘿。
And Aeon, I really agree with that. I've never like super enjoyed the whole like losing as a form of progression. Oh, I could make him grumpy. Who's a big grumpy blue guy? Come on, everybody. He's a Bolchinian. I win. Yeah, Legend. Having it as like something propped when getting to a certain point, I thought was really cool. Oh, there we go. It just wants us to spend our levels. Okay. So Barbarian, I don't know. If you bear with me just a second, I don't know if this guy counts. Let me just quickly check. No, sadly, we've got to get to the Yaoguai. I can, I can speak Chinese. We have to get to either the chief or the king. So sadly, that guy is a driving instructor and doesn't count. It was a good training exercise. So that seems really good. Performing a heavy attack during a light attack combo with a focus point consumed allows the Destined One to execute a resolute strike. Yeah, I wouldn't say easy per se, but we definitely... I can have a little drinky drink. But we definitely got off easy. Also, the fact that the fucking leveling, the Soul's Quivocant is just called will not stop being funny. Remember, ninjas explode. And yes, this is Black Myth Wukong. I don't really know where to classify this. It's pulling from a lot of places. It's got a combat system similar to things like Bayonetta and the ilk. It's got that kind of quasi... feels like open world, but is very constrained that you'd expect from, like, you know, Dark Souls 1 or 3. It's fascinating. And it is predominantly based on the old... I want to say Sayuki Journey to the West, but I'm worried that that's my, like, second-gen weeb self who has only remembered the fucking anime. This is a sponsored stream. This is a Twitch bounty. And the prerequisite of this bounty is that I defeat a boss in either a minute. Okay, so it's just Journey to the West. Sayuki was the anime. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so it's a little blend of things, right? It's level construction and bosses are definitely pulling from the Soulsian crib sheet. The combat system is very Bayonetta, right? It is all about witch time. I don't know if you've noticed, because it hasn't been as pronounced as it was in the opening, but like perfect time dodge is where it's at. And it seems to have a little bit of like find items, make items, etc. Currently, we are playing as just a monkey from the monkey tribe. The big man himself, while battling gods, was trapped in a huge block of stone, and he has remained there since. So, the village elder has challenged us to reclaim all of his lost relics, so that we might awaken him from the stone. Monkey D. Floofy. Shit, that's a great name. No, Draken, like, thank you for coming and hanging out. Usually I stream on, like, Tuesday through Saturday. So if you want to come talk games industry nonsense and whatnot, then I got you. And Steve, how in the hot heck are you doing? Lotto friend! I'm doing an uncharacteristic Sunday stream. And numbers, like, thank you. Here's the things, like, Chinese history, Chinese mythology is something that I don't have a grounding in. You know, one of the reasons I haven't streamed, you know, Three Kingdoms is that I know fuck all about the Romancean Three Kingdoms period. And it might shock you to know, Dynasty Warriors is not a good historical grounding. Also, friends, so Stack Up Shanghai 6 in chat, that's Steve, who I mentioned earlier. So give him a follow. We raided them after Slugfest yesterday as a palate cleanser from 2 Human. They were playing Space Marine 2. Let me tell you, Steve, after playing one of the worst video games ever made, this feels like, you know, the filet mignon of control schemes. Oh, there's that fucking Lumen. I don't know if you see all it in there. Yeah, there we go. Nick, did you see that? But yeah, Steve, I'm doing real good. We had a big thing last week, which was like a donation drive, just so that, you know, we could make rent and kind of claw my way out of a little financial hole, and it went incredibly well. Like, so much so that I've been able to cover like animal food and vet bills and things like that this week. So we're doing good.
Always remember the wise words of the non-canon Piccolo. Dodge.
Dodge! You can say non-canon. Oh. Oh. Goods can be bought with will. That will can be earned through the trading of goods. I'm a commodity! I'm valuable. If any of you have played this before and have any recommendations on things to acquire, I am all ears. The only thing I've been pointing out is I can't do heals whilst we're in combat. So whilst we're in boss fights. And I am with numbers that it doesn't matter what anyone says. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is canon. And Piccolo's not a stepdad. He's the dad who stepped up. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Vanderbeest, yesterday was both brilliant in terms of how much support everybody threw in for Slugfest, and fucking agonizingly painful because I played 2 Human all day, and it hurt me. It hurt me the long way. Sorry, Kakazi with, yes, streamer, you are indeed a commodity. Hey, the Longship Mobile Armor Division. We're not the best. We're the best you can afford. Weirdly, of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the one line, which I think is perfect, that should be considered canon, is the one bit where Vegeta snaps and screams, "My baby boy!" and then just goes berserk. Oh! Steve was saying it costs nothing to respec, so be advised. Ooh! So I can be a bit more experimental. I'll tell you what, I don't know enough about crafting and whatnot yet, so we'll leave those for now. Turn it. Alright, numbers. I'll see that and I'll raise you. Bitch, I'm fucking adorable. You think you're cute? Bitch, I'm fucking adorable. He turned me into a bug? Oh, yeah, Gear. Actually, that's another incredible quote. Which, again, I would consider canonical. Yeah, Vegeta lying in the water being like, What is this new feeling I'm feeling? Pride in someone else. Unfortunately, it's being overwhelmed by this unyielding rage.
黑风山的后山重地藏着不少秘密，想四处
Check me
看
out.
看
I'm
的
the
话
I'm the opening to Men in Black.
若是遇上穷途迷路之处，小神
Can't wait to get hit by a car by Tommy Lee Jones.
一眼，放心去吧。
哎，居然有几个酒坛，不知道里面还有没有残酒。
Numbers, if I could do it without setting off the entire household, I would. Now, Gear Graphic, I don't disagree. Helsinger Bridge is infinitely quotable, and I do love it. It's just that... We've talked about this a lot, and I mean this with genuine sincerity. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is something that is worth studying, because it is a recontextualization of characters that allows a different group to pick, like... I'm just gonna bring this guy out. Sup, nerd? It allows people to re-examine, like, the text. The text by which I mean, like, DBZ. Okay, let me do some dodging here, maybe. So yeah, so Dragon Ball Z Abridged allows a group of people to look at the whole of Dragon Ball, not as it's being written, created, and animated, but as the whole thing comes together, pick the best bits and kind of condense them. Sometimes just for the lols, and sometimes because it really works. River, stop counter surfing.
River? No.
No onion rings for you. Sorry, friends. River, for those who haven't known, so River is our oldest dog, Amos is our youngest. During stream, I want to say either this week or last week, River managed to pull down a whole bag of, like, leftover takeaway burger, like, wrappers and fries and stuff, silently pull them into her little nest and start shredding them. The only reason I found out, because Amos is not stealthy or subtle, and I heard his, like, pattering around as he's trying to scramble onto the counter, came out. River looks like she's just been rumbled breaking into the Louvre, and Bacon, and Amos is just like, I just wanted a burger! But anyway, jumping back. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is genuinely inspired, and they've done such a good job of taking specifically Vegeta and bringing him out of his simplicity and making him more of a rounded character, which is bizarre. With Hellsing Abridged, it's just very funny. It's very good writing, but the characters kind of stay mostly the same. They do a little bit of a better job of accenting Alucard's both boredom and his respect for those who do not, you know, succumb to the path of monsters. It just has so many great quotes. I mean, my personal favourite is probably, for where you see one man, I see four. And when you get to hell, tell him Pembroke sent you, and apologise on my behalf for the inconvenience. What are some of the other bangers? Interrupt me again, Reggie! See what happens! Hey kids, want to see a dead body? And Numbers, fucking thank you. Nick was just pointing out on Dog Nonsense that whenever Aloy, one of Nick's dogs, gets into mischief, Rex will tell on her, and she gets super pissed at him when he does it. It's very funny. That's so good. Sorry, Steve, you were coming to hang out, and I've just lost in my own little weirdness. As I was saying earlier, there's a Twitch bounty on this evening, so I'm testing myself against the mountains. No, and Lord Lost, that's also a great quote. You know, the really transcendent moments in Helsinger Bridge come towards the end between Alucard and Anderson, when they do a much better job of showing how Alucard, as underneath it all, that one, he cares. The reason he does this shit is he does care, and how heartbroken he is to not only lose the one person who was like his favorite sparring partner, but to see them be consumed and turned into the same kind of monster that he became. That whole bit is fucking brilliant. Oh, and Steve, it's all good. It was so funny. I was telling these lovely folk earlier. It was so funny that when we raided you yesterday, we came in and one of your squad was like, "Nah, you know what? 2 Humans a great game. It's awesome." Like two. Oh yeah.
I gotta say, no.
Okay.
God, don't put me on full screen. Look at me. I'm tired.
So Fiona's here.
Fiona's here.
We have a greetings from Fiona.
He's gonna be, wait, which Fiona? Oh, he didn't know that.
Surprise.
He didn't know. I live here.
I learned
What up?
spell of summon Fiona.
I live here. What up?
Poe and Legend, everyone says, "Hey, Fee."
We're all tired, Fiona. Yeah.
That's a secret. We're all tired here.
We're all tired here. Yep.
But no, I was just saying, when we raided in yesterday, one of Steve's lot he was playing Space Marine with was like, "Oh, I actually like 2 Human. Like, I think it's a good game." And then when everyone pushed him, like, "Okay, so why do you think it's good?" He was like, "Oh, it's like the only game I had when I was in Iraq." And it's like, see, you know
that's
what?
a special case there.
Yeah.
It sits right with the heart.
It
doesn't matter if it's a trash game. It's that person's favorite game ever, and that's what matters.
Yes, I'd find something to love if I was in that gentleman's position as well. Pause this guy. He knows what he did. What if this game had guinea pigs? It would just be better.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the forest.
She's like, what the fuck? And she's like, absolutely the fuck not.
She's not about this.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Evil repelling medicine.
Ow, my foot! She just purred to that. She purred again.
Friends, if you've never owned guinea pigs, you cannot understand that they have huge personalities. It's the same amount of personality as like a dog or a cat, but in something the size of a potato, and it never stops being funny. At numbers, like, I'm hoping, like, as things get less chaotic, fingers crossed, touch wood, we'll actually be able to, like, have more bangs and stuff. You know, that's the dream. This guy looks badass, so I better paralyze him, and then beat the snot out of him. Okay, this guy's got real Tengu vibes. Yeah. Tengu in the sense of that he's stronger than me and will kick my ass. Not just because he's a bird. Well, so Artipo, some of them do. So, like, he's... Atticus and... Pippin and Yaskir have now, like, a proper forever home. Just because, you know, 6 guinea pigs was too much for us, and those two, so sweet. They needed, like, a home all their own. Which they do have now. Yeah, but, like...
And now they have anti-people people.
Yeah, they found antisocial people to live with, and they love each other. But just because Artipo was saying that guinea pigs have spite about being small, I was like, no. But some do. Pippin was ready to fight God.
Yeah.
Pippin did not give a shit that you were
Pippin
basically
will
a
still
kaiju.
fight God.
Yeah. Anya is sassy. Anya will tolerate you. She doesn't want to defeat you. However, if you try and like
You
pay her
don't own
attention,
her.
yeah,
You don't own her.
yeah, she is her own nug. She'll kick you if you try and give her attention. She doesn't want it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Cleona's
They aren't like little cats.
yeah, Cleona's a cuddle nug. Loves people. Yeah. So Aeon at the height of lockdown, we were at what 8 was our peak.
6 of our own, and 2 fosters.
Yeah. So that was
We fostered the little screamers.
yes, that was funny as. One of them was like having a little wig. It was one of the long-haired guinea pigs that just looks like a sentient wig. So funny. Aeon, I can neither confirm nor deny. I can neither confirm nor deny. But also there was a situation in Seattle where like a ton of guinea pigs needed homes. We called it the Seattle 30, where during lockdown an individual had gotten guinea pigs. Oh.
Story short,
There's a lot of guinea pigs that needed fostering.
I figure. How hard could it be?
Hey, we did a good job. They got their forever homes. We fostered them well.
What's this wee shit? They just look cute for stream for you.
Sassed me. I got murdered by. I got murdered by a
Even the
jumped
game
up.
sassed you, bitch!
I got murdered by
Got
a
'em.
jumped up twig.
That's just the universe solidifying that.
Wow. Welcome to my night. Artipo, I actually don't have a count because I gave away a lot of Tepigs at PAX. So I don't actually know what the current Tepig count is. I was genuinely looking at those like card counters and or like money counters that you can get on Amazon, just so I don't have to count it manually. I did just get owned by a mandrake. I have a quick question for all of your lovely selves. Does any of you have access to a high 8, either player or recorder for old tapes? My family back home, well, not technically family, but it's a very long story. Love them. They managed to find a bunch of old tapes of Teenage Will. Back when I was, like every teenager at the time, going through a Jackass phase. And all of, like, the house parties and college stuff I recorded. Alright. Sorry, I gotta beat this guy just out of principle now. Fucking hell! Jesus. Well, so C222, it depends on how much they charge. See, I've been doing the math on it. Well, Bacon, if you know a way that it's not stupid expensive. See, I was looking last night, and admittedly, I was very drunk. Most of the players I could see online, or recorders, like started at about $500, and I'm like, nah. But also, a lot of the... Like, there's 10 or 12 tapes, and to send those to get them digitized is very expensive. So, like C222, there are places I can go to have it done. It's just that would be a very large amount of money. So, if I can borrow somebody's... if I can borrow someone's camera, getting the equipment to digitize it isn't that expensive these days. It's obviously just time-consuming. Well, Aeon, I only looked last night. Of course I haven't been. Of course I haven't been to the charity shops. Alright. Now, I've actually got to play seriously. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, well, so C222, that's rad as. I guess it's then it's the question of, you know, do we know them well enough to borrow it? Because, for those who don't know, when you're converting old tapes, it's done in real time. So if you have a bunch of, like, 3-hour tapes, they will all take 3 hours. Sometimes longer. Also, am I losing all of my cash each time I keep getting my ass kicked? No. Okay, that's cool. RePC is a tech-focused junk store. Interesting. Yes, Artipo, and then assuming nothing breaks. But I don't know. Most of the quotes I found, if you want the... Oh, and Catfish, does it? Like, Alright, I had more luck with the Tengu than that guy. Oh, legend. Have a lovely rest of your evening and to be continued. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, as I was saying, so I've looked into a few different services, and it's like, it's affordable if you don't want the tapes back. And I'm like, yeah, I want the tapes back. You know, these tapes will be coming up on like 15 years old. No, 20-ish? Yeah. Sorry, Crow. Melania, you fucking aim. And Shitaru, a merry time zone to you. No treasure behind the waterfall. Just saying. So yeah, so that's why I'm thinking that, you know, borrowing a high 8 camcorder or a player is probably the way to go. Because I do not want to get ridiculous o'clock money-wise, but at the same time, I don't know. There's a lot of other people on those tapes who now have, like, you know, kids and families and stuff like that, and I think it would be cool to do, like, some short movies of that. You will get to see Awkward Will, possibly, I haven't checked the tapes, the only known footage of Will with dreadlocks, which was a terrible and bad thing I never should have done. Oh. There are several ill-advised haircuts and strange choices that I will share with your good selves. Artsy Poet, you have to understand, I had insanely curly hair as a kid. Like, I had a no-choice afro for quite a while. So, at that... Okay, who the fuck is this guy? This is a wandering right. Okay, he is not one of the people we need to beat without... He's not one of the people we need to beat without healing. Ah, bleeds. Apparently he has a tail. Nick says that there are no surviving photos of the hair down to the small of the back. Ah. One of the unfair advantages, one of the myriad of unfair advantages that mask folk have is that if you have long hair and then it goes, you can always just shave it, grow a beard. I know Mega64 did a whole bit of that, but it's true. Hair starts to go. Shave your head, grow a beard, look awesome. Mate, no, so I managed to dodge the headbutt. He got me with his fucking... He got me with his tail. Apparently I'm very squishy right now, so... You know what, maybe we spend some points. Now usually, I would not be in the habit of getting us more health. You know this, I know this. However, I have to beat these guys without healing. So, we're actually spending money on. But yeah. What the fuck? Excuse me? Nani the fuck? Artsy Pro, no, it's no worry, it's no worry. What was weird though is that after I grew my hair out and the dreads happened, after that it didn't curl as much. So, and yeah, I then kind of had that messy ponytail for 1,000 years until I got my hair shaved. Sorry, until I got the undershave, and that definitely helped. So. Well, Nick, that was on my to-do list for this weekend, but I'll scrub it out. Okay, so fighting this guy at range is a fucking stupid idea. So... hitting me. He stepped on my dick. He stepped on me. Now, so Catfish, at this point, I was under the impression that offering incense resets the area, so anybody that you've killed comes back. I guess that it's not the smaller little ones. Yeah, it is interesting that he hits a lot harder the further away you get. So, if you offer incense here, it brings you to like a bonfire menu. If you rest, it resets the area. But it's good for, I guess, like leveling and stuff. And Lance, we still have another hour or so, and I need to get to the point of facing one of the bosses. Apparently, I don't actually have to win, but I have to adhere to the challenge. So I'm trying not to go full stubborn irate gamer, but I might have to leave Giganto the baby head for later. Because it could be a Dark Souls 2 thing where, you know, like the ogres, we're absolutely not supposed to even go near him until later. And Lance, for someone who keeps saying they do not like horror games, and they do not play horror games, I can't help but notice you keep finding gems that I haven't had the chance to stream yet, but I've been keeping my eye on. Like, I don't want to say anything about it, but a certain liminal space haunted house game that dropped recently. Sorry, Sadlin says, shit, the stream is for certain audiences, but I'm an uncertain audience. Alright, well, if you just want to pass your account over to Mr. the Twitch, he'll show you to a certain audience. Wink! Lance, no, explain away. Explain away, Mr. I don't like horror. Don't like horror. Plays awesome horror game. Okay, that's a boss. Okay, so I either have to beat him in a minute, or without healing.
又是只猴子。施主不如放下棍棒，也同我学点佛法。如何？
Coming. Oh. He teleports very quickly. What was that? The fuck was that? Oh, okay. So Lance, it's more that you were trapped in the car driving through the horror games. Let's see what we've got for self-advancement. Health is fine. But yeah, so C222, like, thank you for the advice on that one. You know, ultimately, I'm just working out like the high 8 tapes. Like, what's the most cost-effective thing to do? Because the one advantage about digitizing old tapes is that it's kind of like previewing. You know, you can make some nice timestamps and things for content. If you can stand watching your old self. But again, I don't want to spend $500 on a piece of hardware. Okay. Sorry, there's an audio cue when they're hiding in the woods. It's really good. But also, with a lot of the digitizing companies, you know, that could end up being like anywhere from $200 to like $800. And I don't, again, I don't have to specify that I want my tapes back. Of course I want the fucking tapes back. Of course he has a throw. Of course he does. Good, good. It's a fucking liability. Oh, come on! He dodges like a monkey, Abby. Oh, Nick, go get some sleep. Give our best to the family and the Dags, and to be continued. All right. I'm definitely reminded of how much I miss. I'm definitely reminded of how much I miss the Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 philosophy of boss runs. But also, if I'm being honest, I feel like the reason why it's making us do boss runs like this is because if I'm getting my ass kicked by him, in this there's no penalty for death, right? We don't lose XP, we don't lose cash. So it's forcing me to level up even if I'm a stubborn bastard. It's like it knows me. Oh, he's got fire on me. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge this guy. The only time he retreats is when he's about to throw something into my gob. So far, the game opens with the Seminole Monkey Man himself facing down the full Celestial Pantheon, I believe. Or the Celestial Court, sorry. It goes great until it doesn't. So having gotten the... Well, okay. They activate his golden crown and then kick the crud out of him. So it was a bit of an unfair fight, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway. So, after that, he is basically encased in stone. We just play an ape from the monkey tribe that protects his stone. And we've been sent out by the village elder to acquire all of his relics to potentially wake him back up again. So we are just An Guy. That's all we are. You ain't. Oh, you're not going to do your fancy bullshit. Cheeky bastard. Come on. And Catastros, good evening, good morning.
Let's say equal to heaven. Good morning to you. How much violence?
Bear with me just a second. Mr. Twitch, witness me. Witness me. That's the challenge. We just did it. So Catastros, what and welcome. How are you doing? Hello, hello. This evening we are doing Sellout Sunday. I have taken a Twitch bounty. And the bounty was very specific. I must play Black Myth Wukong for 2 hours. And I must defeat at least one boss without healing. You know, like I just did then. How long did that take me, friends? And I'm drinking. So, Shitaru, thank you for filling the pint glass. Catastros, how have you been? What and welcome. The violence is glorious. But whether or not this game is exceptional, or whether it's just because I spent all of yesterday playing 2 human for the Slugfest finale, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we can transform. Transformations continuously consume might and require a full gauge. Oh, that's cool. So we can kind of do like a little... Oh, we just transform into this guy. That's awesome. Oh, just like what we did with the previous one. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. Now all we're going to do is just play it for a bit more and have fun.
这下不妙，都知道你闯进来了。这钟声洪亮清朗，惊动了这儿的妖精。再往前走，可要万万小心。
Maybe we'll try and beat the next boss without healing as well. But yeah, if you haven't seen this before, so it's based on Journeys to the West. It plays like a Bayonetta-esque boss battler. And it's been... I mean, this has been fascinating so far. I kind of want to go back and use our new powers to kick the fuck out of that other guy, so I think I might. Well, Catastros, the other thing is that this particular Twitch bounty is significantly higher than others we have done in the past. So, you know, it's not like we're not owning our sellout pay today. Do I get a double bounty for doing it twice? I wish. Oh, but we are out of boss fight, so I'm allowed to heal. Oh, we already kicked the crow. No, we need to... Where's Jinsen Guide? Where's the fucking Mandrake room? But yeah, so, Catastros, glad you're enjoying Genshin. I don't know if you've managed to catch much of the VODs for Slugfest, but boy howdy was it good. Det is being rescheduled, and there's a ton of things I have to do for you all. Smells like charred vegetable. Now I wonder. There is Big Babyman. Good, we could fight Big Babyman. Oh, the other thing about this is that there doesn't appear to be anything in the way of a death penalty. So, it does make it a little bit more, I don't know, forgiving. This is not Sekiro. This has a lot of Soulsian philosophies, if you choose to see it like that. But this is not a Souls-like. So. Though I will say, friends, just very briefly, I do need to nip to loo, because I have been drinking. I'll be back with you all in just a second, so don't go anywhere. And then, yeah, Catastros, and those of you who have just joined us, I would love to hear about your stories. Because as I said, if it's not Slugfest, I have no new videos. Well, actually, Catastros, very quickly before I nip to loo. So, what I downloaded for Daikatana was basically this, like, fan-made quality of life mod that gives you, like, HD resolutions and things like that, and includes a bunch of cheats like invincible AI or removing the AI altogether, and it's highly recommended. I left certain features on because, you know, the point was to prove my mettle. If I was going to sit and ask you all for donations, I need to be able to push myself, and I certainly did that with Daikatana. I certainly did that. But you can play it through in a non-miserable manner, and it's interesting. Like, it is the Jurassic Park Trespasser of FPSs in that they were trying new, fresh, original ideas. They just didn't land. But anyway, I'll be back in a sec. Book out. Thank you all for waiting. I got some more sake. And I had to, tail between my legs, totter into Fiona's room and be like, can you please open my booze for me? Oh, and Vanderbees, just in case you catch this in the VODs and whatnot, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Happy Sellout Sunday to you as well. Oh, Aeon, it's just the Genkin standard. Like, I like it. It's affordable. It's real good. It's both cold and warmed. So yeah. And Martin, it is. Today, I am in fact the legendary shill Overguard. And yeah, Catastros, you're not wrong. Like, it's like Bayonetta. It's all about the perfect dodge. And honestly, the only thing I found tricky with Lionel over there was that he has such a pronounced animation style that he's almost... It's like his animations are almost a little too complex at times. Oh, no, sorry. I guess that's going to be a good morning for you, right? Super beam at me. Oh. Anyway, so as I was saying before I trundled off, how are you all doing? Have any of you also seen Dan Dan? I will say, Dan Dan feels like if you took FLCL and Chainsaw Man and mashed them together, and I love that. I don't think I can beat Big Baby Head, so I'm going to keep going. I think it's going to need a few episodes. Oh, Sellout, by NHL, do you mean like actually about hockey, or is that an acronym? Yes, Lance, I finally saw Dan Dan. I've actually watched it a couple times now. Like, the animation is so upsettingly good. You know, as a non-artist, how anybody can conceive of all of that. The speed and scope and scale of that game is incredible. Like, incredible. Yeah, no, it's so FLCL coded. Oh, you thought I was talking about the Battle of the Dans. It is actually a shame that Floydo hasn't done something called Dan yet, but... and Sadum saying, oh, it is actually about hockey, a documentary film with the group that did Inside F1 and the tennis series. That's cool. Oh. Wait, I think do I actually have to beat Baby Head to progress? Or is there something this way? Oh, beans. I think I actually have to defeat Baby Head. some cheeky path up the mountain? No. No, Catastros, I definitely have to beat Babyhead. Ah, well. We'll work it out. Oh, sorry, no, it's a really nice ruined temple. Hell, aesthetically, this game is artily gorgeous. But honestly, at this point, I kind of feel like we're still so far in the paddling pool, I can't really comment on the art style overall. Bacon? Me? Stubborn? How dare you? Beans. Well, wasted that. Well, Kakazi, it seems to be a lot kinder in terms of like animation breaks between the immobilize and some of the other stuff I can do. I just haven't quite learned how each of these big bastards can be broken. I just realised I have so many points I should spend. Now, what have we got? Smash stance, sprinting or charging, perform a heavy attack. Oh, I think we already bought that one. Yeah, pillar stance. So wait, the higher my focus, the higher my stick gets. Alright. Apparently I can see through their attacks and that makes them easier to stagger. Oh, but I need to spend a minimum of 3 points to progress. Alright, well let's see if Foundation... Oh yeah, more damage to immobilized enemies. Thank you. Increases the amount of time they are immobilized. Thank you. Let's go. Okay. Warning, consult a doctor if your stick continues to get higher for more than 4 hours. No, Salem, it is. It is a Sunday. This is like low-hanging fruit joke o'clock. You are all good. Alright, let's fight Big Baby. Oh, cow! might treat myself to a heal this guy, because we just kind of kicked his ass. And he Hadoukened me. Okay. So at this point, Catastros, we don't actually have Sun Wukong's staff. This is just An's stick. He's still trapped in his stone egg. At least so far as I understood from the introduction. Our current goal is to retrieve all of his artifacts to awaken him from the egg. Ooh. Okay, we need more. Each talent moderately increases the damage of the next attack after a perfect dodge. Interesting. I was going to say, the only other thing I've been watching since last I hung out with your lovely selves is I'm rewatching Gargantia, but I think it's a bit unfair of me to start talking about that after Nick's gone to bed, because I know they're a huge fan of that show. Also, Hadouken! Sounds cool! You know, Aeon, that might not be a bad shout, because the fire guy is already powerful enough to handle him when he's going all brrr. So that's the technical term for the go brrr. I know about. Artipo, big agree. I don't know what it is, but something about it really upsetting. Also, I don't know what's going down. It's definitely dropping frames now, which it wasn't doing, especially on these early areas. So hopefully it's not broken or breaking. Memory link would suck. Interesting, so I get the other guy for as long as... So I get the other guy for as long as I get his health. Fucking headbutt as well. This is a very good boss for teaching you that sometimes you're supposed to run away. I'm not doing that, but I worked out what it is, Artsy Poe. It's when I hit his butt, the tail goes. It's bad. It's not okay. It's not bad in a video game construction standpoint, but it upsets me. And I wish it wasn't. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but every time we're coming back past these two... Okay. We're going to progress onwards, because there's definitely something that's causing problems there. As much as I want to be a stubborn bastard against Cat and Babyhead, each time I'm coming past here, it's getting just a little bit worse. So, in the words of Taylor Swift, I'm coming back for you. We already achieved the challenge part of the bounty, which was defeat a boss without healing. And the boss in question was, you know, Tiger Face McNow my summon. So. I just don't want to get us caught in a fucking infinite loop or something. Okay, bloody thing. Alright. I think there's something incredibly dark about the fact that we're using their old village chief to beat the fuck out of him. It might make me the bad guy.
别出声，小心惊动了那条大狗。后院那厮是黑风怪的道友，自称灵虚子。以你现在的道行，糟了！小伙子，快逃，还来得及。
Oh, the alternate was just like, you need to get out of here. Considering even your strength, you can't handle it. I'm like, buddy, you're just... Ooh, craft armor. Alright, here we go. All of this is better than what we have. So this is very reminiscent of Neo. And when we equip headpiece, while sprinting, when sprinting, each second modically increases attack. This effect will stack up to 10 times. So basically, if we sprint around like a loony, we then get to smack somebody super hard. I see no way this will end poorly. Cheers all. Actually, Sadlin, I saw it, but I didn't. I heard it existed, but I haven't seen a trailer for it. The only one I've really seen has been the. Oh, I hate that I'm forgetting the musician's name. The one that's being done entirely in UE5 with Lego people. God darn it. It's going to drive me up the wall now. do they? God darn it, why am I forgetting this guy's name? Anyway, that's the only one I've seen recently doing the rounds. Well, I mean, obviously that and all the nonsense around Coppola's newest film, which... May we all be so successful that we have the money to make the weirdest film we want with our friends. Once we pass the gate, there's no turning back. Mate. Mate. I'm here. Okay, Salem, I might have to check that out, because... So, for those who don't know, so Robbie Williams was part of one of those pre-constructed boy bands back in the era of boy bands. He ended up having a pretty successful solo career, and for me, a couple of his tracks ended up on Friends karaoke rotation, but the brilliant video for Rock DJ, where he pulls off his own skin, will remain at an absolute high point there. Big Polly. It's Linguini. Oh. Need your help, buddy. Are so weird. I'm in trouble now. Dude, you are weird. Linguini. I wonder. It does work! Oh. So, fun fact. Well, we can stop him mid-move. It doesn't stop his impact. We can stop him mid-air, but he still lands. Oh, I'm sorry. Does anyone else want to say it, or should I? First time every time. First time every time.
既然结果了他，不妨先
Oh,
往这里
linguini
放点朝天
attained.
那黑风
Rat atui.
此一颗金丹，若是寻到此物，
Linguini, little shit, get in here. Oh, friends, if I'd had the wherewithal for today, if I'd not been so brain dead after Slugfest, I should have worn a fucking tall ass chef's hat. Oh, he was not easy. Because he wasn't even following like a, you know, it wasn't even like the dancer where it's a pattern that's like slightly off unless you're already a dancer and you understand those things. It was just sometimes he would just wait around and then decide he was going to slap you. Which is fine. But just get the fuck out of me. As Lizzie just posting my failures to balance out my victories. It's fair. Second bounty attained. Well, technically, we only had to beat one of the bosses without healing. And I decided that I was going to heal because I thought he was going to have a second, like, bestial puppy form and then kick the fuck out of me further. And I won, so, you know, I've done one of the fights in accordance with the bounty. Because I did heal there. Yeah, the self-grooming was weird. Okay, I don't hate it though. Because it did show this kind of combination of like, I don't know. It wasn't fully malevolent. If that makes a weird sense. Which also means I don't feel necessarily good about kicking the fuck out of it, but... Yeah, sorry, it was very cat-like. Again, the thing that made it weird, though, is it wasn't grooming its paw like a dog. It was licking its paw. Kind of like a person licking their hands. Which, there are very few instances in the human experience where locking eyes with somebody and licking your palm isn't fucking weird. Let me tell you, that was not one of them. That was not one of them. But joking aside, I thought it gave it some real personality other than big dog with punch arms, you know? Oh, what if I got these fucking stairs and it's like second form? The dude picks up a stick and then beats me to death. Well, for his size, a stick would be a whole ass tree, but you know what I mean. Massively increases maximum health. Oh, cool. If I can take it. Well, so sorry, I don't know a lot about the dev team behind this. They are based out of China, and it can be really hard to get like solid information about Chinese devs, and like there was a lot of discussion about this game before it came out because there were reports that the team behind it were very not good. The problem was that the more research I did into it, the less I could find out about it. So like, I cannot tell you if they modeled it on a cat. I couldn't tell you fucking much about the people who made this. All I can tell you right now is that they put a gigantic Twitch bounty on streaming their game. And it is not an insignificant amount of cash. Well, yeah, Lizzie, it is hard to find information about like non-English language devs, but at least if it's, you know, European devs, there's a lot of info. And Japanese devs are better now. They're less like a hidden cabal like they used to.
你马哥出身高门大户，不会轻易吃人。
This is somebody's fetish, right? Like, I'm not judging, but I'm this is definitely someone's fetish, right? I mean, Tobias, it's like the bat signal in the sky. You were summoned. How are you doing, friend? And another belated happy birthday. I'm sorry I didn't get to hang out with your Big Kitty Little City stream as much as I wanted. But it looked like you had a really fucking good time. And Lizzie, thank you for doing a shout out. So friends, Spring-Heeled Studios in chat is our good friend Tobias. One of the iconic individuals from the Sea of Thieves Chest of Sorrow video. Tobias says, I am a criminal, don't listen to Will. I will say the rope physics on this is very impressive from a technical standpoint, but makes it slightly more uncomfortable. If I get in the right spot, I think he's going to try and loop it round. So iconic, he could be 3 Bias. And when the stones are combined, the mystical 4 Bias will be unlocked. Anyway, let's talk to fuckable horse.
阁下一看就不是这里的妖怪，莫非也是来拜那黑风大王的？
He's asking if we've come to earn the Black Wind
这
King's
黑手
favor.
外强中干，靠不住的。你还是趁早离了此处才好。起死复生，金银财宝都是唬人的。
Whoa, I didn't say that I'd fuck
都
this
被骗
horse.
了。
But if you asked me, does this horse fuck?
嘴上修真养性，肚里贪婪起心。我所求之事，不敢托付。
Sadly, Lizzie, I don't know that clip and I can't bring it up. But, and Lord Lost and Found, well done. Return to Moria has been fucking great. Lon says, rein in the talk. Whoa there. Look, I don't make this horse, and this horse knows what he's about. Thank you, Artie Poe. That horse fucks. Alright. You know, Spring-Heeled, let's give it to the My Little Pony fandom. Because, you know, the dev team is based out of China. They don't know. Imagine this game becomes iconic with the equestrian inclined. And the first game dev convention they do. They have to contend with all of that. There was a movie that got announced the last few days. I forget what it was called, but one of the villains in it is the Gorilla. Which, if you're on a very... God damn it, Fiona. I left the fridge open. Hang on a sec.
Got clear of the bloody fridge. You got clear of the fridge.
Sorry, where were we? Alright. This movie got announced, and one of the posters they announced, one of the villains was called Gorilla. And it turns out, in a very specific part of D&D, there is a very specific scene that's gone very viral, where a DM is desperately trying to explain to their parents that there may be a monster on the loose, the Gorilla of the Woods. To which someone immediately goes, "There's a gorilla on the loose?" For whatever reason, this has gone everywhere. It's the same team that had Chuckles the Clown. But what was so brilliant about this post is they put up this really interesting movie post over the character, and every single response is just clips from this fucking D&D show. And I love it. Now imagine Wukong becomes like the #1 Equestria video game. That would make my little heart so happy. Like, it's Fart Buckle all over again. And I think, okay, joking aside, sorry, fuckable horse. Joking aside, I think that these kinds of like moments of internet are actually kind of important because they really do stop like the kind of the big... Okay. They do stop... yeah. Sorry, Salem was saying them's fighting herds is already out there. Yes, it is. The bizarrity of internet culture stops big business from going full corporate. You need to have community managers. You need to have people on your staff who speak the lingo, right? You can't just, you know, command art and decide how it's used. Now, I'm not saying Childish Gambino is a villainous corporation, but he is a very, very successful, very wealthy individual. All deserved. But my point being is, like, the Fart Buckle situation was something completely out of his control. And he ended up embracing it, which I will forever respect. But it wasn't something that he created. It wasn't something he controlled. It was a completely organic moment. And it ended up, you know, being a little lightning strike. If you don't know, one of Childish Gambino's newest songs was used for this one little, like... it ended up being used for a little, again, another D&D moment. And it's the party's about to get wiped, you know, a crystal is powering up that will obliterate the whole team. And then, out of nowhere, the goblin that they made friends with halfway down the campaign that they named Fart Buckle sacrifices himself nobly to save the whole party. It just ending with the, you know, I save friends, Fart Buckle is happy. Oh, Dustin, yes, no, thank you for... thank you for mentioning where the gorilla comes from. And Chuckles the Clown. But yeah. Someone makes a TikTok video about this, it goes everywhere, it goes on YouTube, and in the background was one of Childish Gambino's songs. And on every single video featuring that song on TikTok, someone, sometimes me, would write R.I.P. Fart Buckle, or this is what Fart Buckle would have wanted. To the point where during tour, live on stage, in front of hundreds of thousands of people, Childish Gambino, before beginning the very same song, lets it wait for a beat and just goes R.I.P. Fart Buckle. Now, why does this matter? It's not really a great moment in history, but it is a perfect example in how the collaboration between creator and artist sometimes isn't equal. Sometimes things take on a life of their own. And it stops... It's a great example of stopping art from being completely commanded by a corporate machine. No, yeah, Catastros. I think that's where the sketch came from. It's not a great moment in history. No, but the Gorilla of the Woods is. Exactly, Lizzie. These meta moments are worth celebrating. Because I feel like these are the kind of things we only talk about when it's bad. You know, when something gets co-opted or twisted. We don't talk about them when they're fucking awesome. Sticky roll. Oh, one thing I want to point out about this is a quick aside. All of these small enemies that we encounter are trivial. And it's doing a really interesting thing that it might be a bit jarring for some folks. I'm not saying it's necessarily good, but these are the guys that we farm to become powerful. They aren't there to present us a challenge or even really do much, except for give us XP and remind us that we're a fucking badass. Yes, Catastros. I love talking about this, and Ubisoft have been guilty about trying to manufacture memes for so long. If you watch, what is it, Captain Laserhawk, The Blood Dragon Chronicles, there are so many times in that where they're clearly trying to manufacture memetic content, and it doesn't land. Because, again, these memetic moments happen because they are genuine, that people resonate with them. Thank you, Tobias. You are like the only other person I know who's seen this stuff. And it's so insane, because Captain Laserhawk feels like propaganda for a thing that doesn't exist. It's like it's corporate mandated art to make us think that Ubisoft is great and cool. But there's nothing that... Yeah. But like, Rayman goes postal, which isn't a good look for Rayman. What they did to the Beyond Good and Evil peeps at a time where Beyond Good and Evil 2 is sitting in development super hell. You know? They have really good queer representation, but at the same breath, that representation makes me feel weird. Like a government-mandated creation that's supposed to, you know, tug at my little pride heartstrings. Yes, Lance, I think that one's really interesting. Sorry, Lance was saying that the Portal team thought that the hoop you see at the very end of the game was going to be like the big meme. But no, it was the cake is a lie. You know. I wonder if they knew the companion cube was going to become an iconic part of games. That's one I'm kind of curious about. I'd love to know what they thought was going to go down with that. Got tiger subduing pellets. That would have been great for all those tigers I've been fighting. Sorry, I don't mean to critique the naming stuff. When playing international games, it's often hard to know what is localization and what is a choice. You know, as I said, I knew a person who openly mocked Bloodborne for its naming conventions, which I now know was because he never finished it. Piss off, bro. But he had dismissed the naming convention of Bloodborne because he thought it was just bad localization. No, Bloodborne's naming convention is very specific for a reason, but anyway. Lance says, I think that they had a feeling the companion cube was going to be massive because the entire gag of how easily people imprint on objects. Well, I think they had a good grasp of what the humour of that was going to be. I wonder if they knew it was going to become more than just like that. And Artie-Po, yeah, the fact that Sans Undertale has persisted, has transcended time, but yeah, Mettaton was crafted to be Tumblr bait. And, I mean, it's not that Mettaton didn't get their day in the sun, but, you know, we don't talk about Mettaton, but we still talk about Sans Undertale. That's his full name, by the way, if you didn't know. Not a lot of people know that. And I guess with a lot of these things, it's like embracing it in the right way. Because we had a bit of a problem with Total War. The problem with Total War was that we had some memes that weren't in good faith. You know what I mean? So I'm just leveling up my cool tiger move. So in Shogun 2, we had what was his name? Fucking famous Japanese actor who played like the advisor. And in one of the VO lines, he says, you know, our men are running from the battlefield, a shameful display. And he did a really good line read, but most users heard it as shameful display. And that memed immediately. And it was like, we can't embrace this. This is starting to feel a little bit racist. So we steered people towards the shameful display and tried to make just the correct. We tried to make that the element of it, and we had some success. So like when we did Fall of the Samurai, there'd be this American sounding like, and I'm talking like old timey general who would be your advisor for that one because it was the Boshin War, and they were hiring American individuals as advisors at that point. Well, would have. Okay, Fall of the Samurai is a whole nother kettle of monkeys. But the point was, we then had an American guy, and so they had him say, "Our men are running from the battlefield, a shameful display." Crank it up to 11 and kind of bounce the meme across. Oh, sorry. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day. It was wonderful to see you, and I hope you're doing splendid. But yeah, there are ways that you can steer a community, but you cannot dictate. And Aperios, Watto, and welcome. Hello, hello.
就在樊笼里，复得返自然。
Are you a buddy? You sound like a buddy. Man, I need to get me a booze tanker like that.
路上可曾见到那些无主
And
的
Aperios,
孤
thank
魂？
you. I'm selling out hard.
灵运不散，浮于空中。
Spam, spam, beans of spam. What if I
可惜
don't want
你的
spam?
葫芦
Doesn't
不中
want
用，
spam?
我这
Do
葫
you
芦
hear
就
this?
认主。哎呀，哎，我有一法，可超度孤魂，归拳反真，与你。
In my defense, Catastros, in this world, the monkeys are stronger than me. And Aperios, it's really good. So combat system is
这
basically
才像样，
Bayonetta, but it's
不
got
能
a
装
very
偏，却可渡
Soulsian
人。
boss and
当
environmental
去
design
吃面，
philosophy.
早入轮回。
Oh, Lance, you know what? Press F to pay respects, I think, is a really good one.
继承天命，你我无非
Just because it was so indicative of how the Call of Duty franchise didn't trust you to feel. Like, they didn't trust you to play a cutscene enough to feel... Sorry, they didn't trust you enough to watch a cutscene. They didn't trust you enough to play the game. So they literally had you push a button to pay respects to your fallen comrade. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they deserved to get memed on for that one. And there are also things that are created by purely memes don't always happen because of logical reasons. Sometimes a thing at the right place and right time just sparks. Sadly, I think Fiona's passed the fuck out, but one thing that I always think of when it comes to like locational mimetic elements is the Colossus shout from Magfest, which has spilled out into the greater like consciousness, because at Magfest there is an X-Men arcade machine, and for whatever reason it got turned up real loud, and when Colossus did his whole thing, the just procced because everyone was there at a convention drinking and having a good time, and so people would mimic it, and it would get to the point where the mimicking of Colossus's shout would echo throughout as different groups emulate it. And then that ended up becoming so synonymous that it fell into the rest of like the internet. Oh, head back to where you fought the blue monk. You should be able to collect the soul now. I'm glad one of us is paying attention. Thank you. Oh, as in you think I'll be able to kick his ass? I just want to say for 2XKO, I'm definitely going to be your cheerleaders, friends, but I can't start another 2D fighting game. My hands won't forgive me. Tekken is as far as I can push myself these days. Anyway, I bring these moments up just because none of them were constructed by a PR team, none of them were intentional. And they are great reminders that, you know, video games are art first. And you can pretend like you can control how people will respond to your art, but you can't. Well, Aeon, also, I'm not playing this on full. Like, you have to understand, this is the game running at medium, and aside from a little memory leak that we had in the starting area, well, one of the starting areas, it's been gorgeous. We have a feature where the longer we run, the more we charge our staff up. And the next person who gets blapped in the noggin gets a big old hit. Oh, if you all want to throw in any glorious memes that spring to mind when we're talking about things that could not be controlled. Because, like, okay, sometimes as a marketing team, you can make something that resonates that is kind of intentional. So, like, I do think about the Assassin's Creed cats that was everywhere during, God, I want to say Unity? Even though that game was not great. GDQ Orb comes to mind. The Ack Ink Green Flame, good examples, good examples. Kicking ass, and then he hesitated. Catastros, I love your faith in me. Don't ever change. So Lance was adding that they find memes so interesting because no matter how tightly tuned the algorithms are or how much sites attempt to promote specific elements, the memes will always persist. Yes. In fact, one could argue that the tighter that one attempts to control the narrative, the more memes will appear with their own life. in one could argue that the harder you go in attempting to control it. Is he a skeleton and a snake? Oh, and there's more of them. Getting me with the old 2 human special, eh? Bacon is one of our keepers of the Pax lore tonight. Alright, Holy Boss Crusader, sleep well, have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you for coming out for a post-Slugfest sellout. I really appreciate it, alright? Lance was saying that the web's bringing up the San Andreas, here we go again meme. It is interesting when you consider how many parts of San Andreas were absolutely fucking everywhere. Did I tell you all, I once watched somebody steal all of the cardboard cutouts from a San Andreas display in, like, fucking Guildford once. Okay, now. I'm sorry, what? Because that seemed like first time every time. It really did seem like that. Did anyone notice that? We're eating legs tonight! Consume those who had consumed. We gain the spirit of Big Frog. Okay. Okay, I want to know what's going through this little frog's mind right now. Oh, he beat the fuck out of me, big boss! I have the get up and go and the gumption to do what no one else has. Oh no, I'm fucking dead! You can do it, Greg. You can do it. You can do this.
Cook me like one of your French meals.
Proof that, once again, if you add enough butter and enough garlic to anything, it's delicious. What's the last thing going through that frog's mind? This staff. Lance says, how about doing E3 memes? So, I'd like to remove E3 memes from this discussion, because E3 memes aren't reaction to the art. E3 memes are necessary, because E3, and I guess, like, you know, subsequent shows, they are literally there to sell us thing, right? Summer Games Fest exists for Keighley to make money, whoopaka, and for games companies to get us excited enough to buy a video game. Now, are they fun? Yeah, I have a great fucking time. And, like, you know, I love trailers, I love marketing assets and things like that, but the mimetic qualities of a lot of, like, E3 nonsense is because, from the get-go, it is a commercial to sell you toys. Alright? Initially, E3 was it was a press conference. You invite the press, you tell them what they should care about, maybe do some jazzy stuff to interest them, and then you let them loose on the show floor. Aeon, you know I'm going to have to try that. Citral producer suggested garlic butter Mountain Dew. That's garlic butter with something sugary, which could slap. And Lance, yeah, the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy XIV with free trial up to is something born of marketing nonsense. But anyway, my point more being that, like, E3 isn't art. E3 is an advert to sell us art. Now, is there an art form to marketing and PR? Yes. But you know what I mean, right? A house can be art, but its first function is to be shelter. PR and marketing can be art, but their first job is to sell you shit. So, and that's why I think that, like, memes that come out of those showcases happen because they're essentially super crossover. Super crossover! No, because they're super corporate from the word go. I do feel a bit bad, friends, because I'm not really... Okay, so two things I want to point out about that. One, that was fucking awesome and I loved it. Two, if your summon gets poisoned, you don't. Lord Lost and Found, I hope you have a smooth day at work. And yeah, hopefully to be continued. Oh, but yeah, sorry, I took that off in a strange direction. If you haven't seen the Polygon video on the Perfect E3 press conference, it talks about gaffes. And I love the idea that everything dumb and stupid that happened at E3's past was a carefully constructed plan that was put together by marketing teams. You know, that the gaps were entirely intentional, but I do not have that kind of faith. You know, although I do love seeing people wearing the I Eat Ass shirt at varying conventions, it gives me life. I will say, the one thing that this hasn't done very well yet, it hasn't done the establishing shots, which is something that Dark Souls is really good at. So I don't really have a context as to where we are other than on the mountain. But that's a very light critique, you know. But now, Lance, that was a very good point. You know, sometimes the dice rolls in your favour. Sorry, Lance was saying that one of the best things that happened to Uncharted 4 was when the controller died during gameplay. Like, it actually showed everybody that, no, this is live code running. However, we only need to go back to Sony's worst E3 press conference with, like, the Eye of Judgment and shit like that to prove that when it doesn't work, that's not a good time. That's a bad time. Forgetting I'm allowed to heal. It's just not that heal on specific bosses. The Windows 98 blue screen of death. That's a whole nother kettle of molasses. I mean, if we're going to talk about Windows memes, we absolutely have to talk about the incredible, what was it? Chandler and Rachel. Fuck. God. Alright, the actors' names are lost to me. But their incredible video.
小僧法名广谋，若是今日死在你手，帮我带句话给师傅。肉眼凡夫，求而不得神仙苦，半荣半枯，几人之事，长生。
Oh, Jesus. Cool, are we not doing healing? No? Almost. Oh god, it's it's nearly midnight over here. Bleed Nora. Oh, it's so hard to run. Alright, let me kick the snot out of this guy. He knows what he did. Spend my points real quick. I'll go for some better dodges. I can work with that. But yeah, but I'm not dismissing the developers or anything like that. But again, that's not subversion of art through memetics, right? That whole thing with him, I mean, that was him. I don't know if legally we're allowed to imply that it was him coked out of his fucking eyeballs, but... yeah, big heap of allegedly. But I don't really have anything to add on other than I can't believe that's a thing that happened. From my perspective, it's like... Oh, what I was alluding to prior was just this concept that the memes are what keeps the corporate in check, you know? Alright, time for a rematch. Don't judge me. I already did mine. My no heals. Oh, look who brought snakes to a fight. I'm telling animals to run. Wait, what does this do? I'm a frog now! I'm a fucking frog now! Cheers all. First time every time. Totally. Something told me the Monkey King would appreciate me saying first time every time, regardless of how successful it was. Okay.
不但没死，还化成了一狼一蛇两只妖怪。
I did like how the opening to that boss was him being like, if I should be defeated, you know, here's the poem of my death before I go, and I'm like, ah, it's fucking cool. I feel like Sekiro could have been a lot cheesier in terms of its like over-the-top kabuki-esque nonsense. But that's just me. Okay. So friends, I am going to bring our adventure to a close. We have definitely gone above and beyond for Will's Sellout Sunday, and I cannot believe it is nearly midnight. The conversation has been excellent. The game has been excellent. You've been fucking brilliant, friends. So let me end the tracking here. Okay. And let's bring it back to here. No, this, like, Aeon, this was a little treat, and I had a fucking good time with it. Honestly, I think this is a game that we're going to revisit. Like, once we're done with Elden Ring, we'll have a little bit more time for more large-scale production. Because this is not an indie game. This is a big-budget production, and it certainly shows. No, Lance. Assuming everything goes ahead, the bounty was most bountiful. So, I had a fucking great time. Where's my tunes? Give me my tunes! The one time I want tunes and I don't want a bunch of long-form documentaries on Saturn video games, and that's all it's giving me right now. Love you guys, but where are my tunes? This feels personal. Bear with me a second.
I'm thinking black.
Okay, there we go. So anyway, I hope you've all had yourself a lovely evening. I bloody have. Let's revisit the concept of like mimetic nonsense like next stream. Like, remind me on Tuesday and we'll get into the paint of it, because it's something that I find fascinating. And again, it's something that I think is very, very important to games because it's so counter to the monetization in corporate side of games, which again, we all have to dance with. I'm not inherently against, it's just, yeah. I'm sorry, Sadlin, I don't make the rules. If you'd like, I can put up a special request to have you converted to a lossless JPEG, but it's BMP all the way for the rest of you, I'm afraid. No, this was super fucking cool, and I am Okay, friends, I have to skedaddle very quickly because I think the wee baby boy is giving me that look of go now lest I pee in the house. Thank you all. Have a fucking great rest of your evening. Go find some lovely people on Twitch to share some love with, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Okay? It's either this or Lake Pee Pee. Love you all. Cheers.